So there have been a lot of televised political debates over the years, and a lot of them have featured Joe Biden. He was on the debate stages in 1988 and 2008 and 2012 and 2020, and we're not even counting 2024 yet. But if you had to pick one moment where Joe Biden was able to beat back his critics and win the moment in as few words as possible, it would probably be this one.
An editorial in the Los Angeles Times said, in addition to his uncontrolled verbosity, Biden is a gaffe machine. Can you reassure voters in this country that you would have the discipline you would need on the world stage, Senator?
Yes.
Thank you, Senator Biden.
That was Joe Biden during the 2008 Democratic presidential primary debates. And while moments like that did not win Biden the Democratic nomination, we later learned that his performance on stage was a real factor in why Barack Obama chose Joe Biden to be his running mate. It's also a reminder that Biden can be a very effective debater when he is calm and when he is in control. By contrast, there's his opponent, Donald Trump. Not a person who would ever willingly give up 28 seconds of a 30-second time allotment to make a point. Trump, as we saw in the 2016 and 2020 debates, is not a creature of restraint or even strategy per se. Today, Trump gave an interview to the Washington Examiner where he talked about the upcoming debate and told his interviewer that he thinks debating is an attitude more than it is anything else, which makes sense if you've ever seen Donald Trump in a debate. In that same interview, Trump was asked about whether or not his attitude had ever failed him. This is the reporter. A lot of people thought in the first debate with Biden that you were somewhat overamped, that you just went after him too much, Trump, that I interrupted him. Yeah, I think, reporter. Do you agree with that? Mm-hmm, Trump answered. Then, after a short pause, Trump defended the interruptions before conceding that, yes, there were too many. So, yes, even Donald Trump is aware that his attitude can hurt him on the debate stage, especially when he is overamped.
Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now. Make sure you, in fact, let people know you're a senator. I'm not going to answer the question.
Why would you answer that question?
The question is,
radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen.
Trump's attitude problems do not end with his treatment of his opponents. Trump is also at his worst when he is interrupting the moderators.
I'm going to give you a minute to answer, sir. You have repeatedly criticized.
I have to answer his statement.
No, you have repeatedly.
Wait,
you have
no,
you've been talking back
and
forth.
He made a statement.
I'm asking you.
I would love to end it.
Sir,
I would love to end it.
You know, if you want to switch seats,
we could very quickly.
We could do that.
So being overamped with opponents, not good. Talking over the moderator, also not good. But Donald Trump is also at his worst when he is on the defensive, as in this moment with Senator Marco Rubio during the Republican primary debates in 2016.
And I have to say this, he hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it.
Not that effective and also just really gross. As the debates have shown us, Trump is defensive about a lot of things, and not just his undersized hands, but also his cozy relationship with certain autocrats.
Look, Putin, from everything I see, has no respect for this person.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
No puppet. It's like watching someone pour water into a Teddy Ruxpin battery pack. Now, as bad as the no puppet defense was, it was not nearly as shocking, not nearly as disqualifying as his defense of election denial back in 2016.
Do you make the same commitment that you will absolutely, sir, that you will absolutely accept the result of this election?
I will look at it at the time. I'm not looking at anything now. I'll look at it at the time.
Are you saying you're not prepared now to commit to that principle?
What I'm saying is that I will tell you at the time. I'll keep you in suspense.
Well,
okay?
Chris.
But Trump's most infamous moment in any debate was when he was forced to respond to a question about his relationship with white supremacists and offered not a condemnation, but a call to arms.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups?
What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
white supremacists.
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
So, okay, if you're the Biden campaign right now, reviewing Trump's worst debate moments, it is clear that there is a lot to work with. That is, if you want to spend the whole debate teasing out the insecure and undisciplined and destructive side of Donald Trump. But what about Joe Biden himself? How much of this debate should he spend on his not insignificant accomplishments as president? Does Biden talk about shepherding through the biggest investments in climate and infrastructure in a generation? Or the long list of actions he's taken on behalf of everyday Americans, like working to end junk fees and lowering drug costs and suing to end big monopolies? Or the historically strong American economy he's overseen, which, by the way, the World Bank recently said is so strong that it actually bolstered the entire world economy after a global pandemic. How much time should President Biden spend focusing on all of that? And how much time should he spend highlighting the autocrat-admiring, white supremacist allied election denier with the small hands who likes to interrupt everyone all the time? That is really the question.
No puppet. No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.